I see a lot of people not knowing what to eat when it comes to reversing insulin resistance, improving their glucose levels, having more energy, and getting rid of the belly fat. These are the things that I hear more often, especially with my clients when they start. They're not sure what to eat, when to eat, how to have more energy, less brain fog, more libido, get rid of the belly fat. They train, they are on diets, but they don't see the results. And in today's video, you're going to see exactly what to eat in order to solve that. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going to do a long video talking about the mechanisms and trying to sell you something, because that's not the case. I'm simply going to show you exactly what I eat to break the fast. Not every single day, but I would say 80% of the time. And if you eat these for 30, 60, 90 days, you will be a completely different person. So you just need to save this video or write these ingredients. It's pretty simple. And have 10 minutes, perhaps even less, to prepare this. It's not fancy. It gives you 50 grams of protein. It will satiate you for 4 or 5 hours. It's not going to spike your insulin. It's going to give you stable energy and the fuel that you need. Not only that, it's going to give you basically all the vitamins and minerals that you need in order to function. And you will thank me later for this one. Now, why do I say this? Because I've been eating this consistently, and I can even show you. I'm not just teaching people how to do it. I do what I preach. So I'm going to show you. I've done blood work, and just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 main metabolic markers in relation to the topic that we're going to cover, which is most people are testing their glucose fasting and they still feel off. You feel low energy, brain fog, and you're not sure. So first of all, there are 3 markers that you need to ask to your doctor to test, which we're going to cover at the end of this video. I'm going to tell you exactly the markers that you need to be ordering. But why am I telling you this? Just because these are my numbers. So I have a glucose fasting of 77. I have HbA1c, which is basically your glucose levels over the last 3 months, which is 5.2, which is pretty good as well. And I have insulin fasting, as you see here, 195. Most people are with insulin levels between 10, 15, sometimes even more. Now, what you need to do in order to have better insulin levels is you need to break the fast with low carb. Why? Because when you eat carbs, you spike your insulin and then you're going to have an energy crash, and that's not what you want. And the more carbs you eat, the more often you eat, the more insulin resistant you will be. Now, I'm not saying carbs are bad. I love carbs. You just need to learn how to time them properly. Now, let's dive right in this meal. And what's here? Very simple. 3 eggs with avocado, with sardines and spinach. As simple as that. Now, I can even give you a brief explanation of why I'm choosing this meal and why don't you see here bread, we don't see granola, you don't see orange juice, you don't see toast. Why? Because those are pure sugars that will spike your insulin. This meal will satiate me for 4 or 5 hours. It's going to fuel my mind, my brain, my cognitive function, my body, my energy, literally everything. And you need to try this, because I swear, if you try this meal, you're not going to be craving bread or protein bars or granola bars or sodas, because you're going to be fully satisfied. Now, each ingredient here has a specific purpose. First of all, this is a high protein meal. We have here around, let's say, 40 grams of protein. It could be more, by the way. This meal can be 80 grams of protein. For example, if you add a couple of egg whites, if you add a bit of cottage cheese, some Greek yogurt, more sardines, for me, this is fine for now. And this is fine for most people. So this is not too low. This is kind of normal. Now, if I want more protein, I can eat Greek yogurt with 1 scoop of protein. I can put cottage cheese, as I mentioned. So it's very easy to bump up these numbers. Now, eggs. You want to eat the yolk. The eggs give you protein, yes. By the way, it's not the best source of protein. People tell that 2 or 3 eggs are enough for breakfast. It's not enough. 1 egg has around 6 grams of protein, around that. Depends on the size, but let's keep it 6 grams. So here, in terms of eggs, we have 3 eggs with the yolk. The yolk is exactly what's going to give you the vitamins, the minerals, and the healthy fats that you need. The eggs and steak are the 2 things that I would call the natural multivitamins. So if you eat steak and eggs, you're basically covered with everything that you need. So 3 eggs, you can put up to 4 eggs as well. even 5 eggs. I mean, it just depends on the person. For me, 3 eggs is enough because I have already plenty of protein throughout the day. I'm eating more or less 160 to 190 grams of protein, so I don't need more eggs. So eggs, I would say, mandatory source of protein and healthy fats, and it's something that you can have on a daily basis. Don't be afraid of the cholesterol because this actually raises your good cholesterol levels, and it's not going to spike your insulin, and it's going to help you with your testosterone levels. Then we have avocado, great source of healthy fats. It will satiate you. It's a great source of magnesium, potassium as well, and it doesn't have any sugar, which means it's not going to spike your insulin. Of course, it will spike a little bit, but not that much. So when you eat carbs, you spike a lot. When you eat fats, you barely spike. When you eat protein, you spike a little bit. And by the way, I'm not saying that carbs are bad. You want to eat carbs, for example, after the workout, your body will make use of it. But to break the fast as a first meal, especially for breakfast, you don't eat carbs. You shouldn't be eating carbs if you're trying to improve your insulin levels and your energy levels. Then we have sardines, great source of protein, great source of omega-3s. For example, when I eat sardines, I don't take omega-3 fatty acids, but this is not a video about supplements. I'm just telling you that I supplement according to my needs. So for example, sardines, great source of omega-3s. I cut the omega-3 supplementation on that day, and it's a great source of protein. And then we have spinach, great source of vitamin K1, vitamin A, magnesium, potassium. So this is something you can have every day. I drizzle a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. Now this breakfast, I put something else, which is some spices that will enhance the flavor of this and the bioavailability of certain nutrients here. The first thing that I put is a lot of sea salt. Now don't be afraid of salt. People are afraid of salt. If you have a high quality sea salt or pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt, it's going to help you with your muscle contraction, with your brain function. People demonize salt, and you should if it's a bad type of salt. Now, the thing is that, for example, processed food has a lot of salt. I'm not talking about that salt. I'm talking about high quality salt, such as sea salt, Celtic sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt. And a lot of people are cutting on salt when they should be having more salt. For example, when you drink water in the morning, you should be adding a little bit of salt. Why? Because it's going to make use of that water, and you're going to actually retain that water. You're not just going to flush. So this is one mistake that I see. People just drink plain water, which is basically you flush it out and you don't retain any of the benefits of the water. So I put sea salt basically in everything. So I just put on the eggs and on the spinach. This helps massively in terms of workout performance, strength, in terms of cognitive performance. So don't be afraid of a good quality salt. Then I put on the eggs as well turmeric. Turmeric, this is anti-inflammatory. The thing with turmeric is don't just put turmeric. You want to add a little bit of black pepper because it will enhance the absorption. So I just put a little bit of turmeric, then a little bit of black pepper, and I'm covered with spices and sea salt. And this meal took me perhaps, I don't know, even 8 minutes to cook. So again, you're going to feel satiated. You're not going to have cravings. And 3 months later, test your blood markers and you will see the difference in your insulin levels, in your glucose levels, in your HbA1c, and not only that, in how you feel as well, and see your body composition changing, your inflammation going down. And as promised, in case you're not sure what to test in terms of your blood work, go to your doctor and don't say that you want just the glucose levels. You're going to order these 5 markers. Yes, the first one is glucose levels. That's a basic one. Everyone is testing that. The second one I mentioned before is insulin fasting. The third one that you're going to ask is your HbA1c. These 3 will give you already a great picture. Then you want to measure your triglycerides as well because it measures the floating fats in your bloodstream. Then you're going to ask for your HDL because along with the HDL, you're going to calculate your triglyceride-to-HDL ratio, which needs to be below 2. Usually, if it's above 2, it's a problem. It means that probably you have some kind of insulin resistance. So you want your triglycerides ideally to be below 90 and your HDL to be above 50. And the next one that you need to test is your high sensitive C-reactive protein, which basically tells if there is inflammation in your body or not. So go to your doctor and ask for these 5 blood markers, and you're going to have a clear picture of what's happening in your body, what's happening behind the scenes, and why you might feel off or why you might feel that plateau that you're facing right now.